It started on a quiet Sunday morning, the kind of morning when the lake looked like glass, and the only sound was the call of loons echoing across the water. I just settled on my porch with a cup of coffee when a shiny SUV rolled up the gravel drive. Out stepped a woman in designer sunglasses and a clipboard tucked under her arm, the self appointed queen of the local HOA, though my cabin wasn't even part of their jurisdiction. She introduced herself briskly, Karen, president of the Lakeview Estates Homeowners Association, as if the title itself carried divine authority. Then she pointed at my cabin, a 100-year-old log structure my great-grandfather built with his own hands, and declared that I was in violation of community standards. I set my coffee down slowly. Community standards? I asked, "Ma'am, this cabin was here before your community even existed." She frowned undeterred and informed me that my dock, my shed, and even my campfire ring were unauthorized structures. Then came the threat. She'd call the sheriff if I didn't vacate association property immediately. I almost laughed, but I knew people like her didn't respond to humor. So I told her she could call whomever she liked. 10 minutes later, a county deputy pulled up, clearly uncomfortable as Karen launched into a dramatic retelling of events, how I'd invaded HOA property, how I was refusing to comply. When she finally took a breath, I handed the deputy a folded document from my leather folder, the original land deed, signed and dated 1923. I explained that not only did I own this cabin, but my family had maintained ownership of nearly 1,200 acres surrounding the lake, including the very subdivision Karen's HOA was built on. The deputy raised his eyebrows, took one look at the deed, and let out a quiet whistle. Karen's face drained of color. "That can't be right," she sputtered. But it was. Decades ago, when the land was developed, a long-term lease had been signed for community use, a lease that ironically expired last year, meaning the HOA property she was so proud of technically reverted to me. The deputy simply tipped his hat and told her to leave. As her SUV sped away, I couldn't help but smile. The next week, my attorney and I formalized new terms. The HOA could continue to exist as tenants, not tyrants. And every time I sit on my porch now, I can't help but chuckle. Karen called 911 on the man who not only owned his cabin, but the land beneath her entire neighborhood.